When the light blinds, awakening, a word that sounds glorious. And yet those who have truly awakened know it does not always come with joy. Many have told me, "Carl, after my spiritual awakening, I lost my motivation. Everything I was once passionate about has lost meaning." And I respond, "Welcome to the threshold. You have crossed a doorway that no longer allows you to fall asleep again. And that, though painful, is sacred. The light that reveals also blinds. Awakening is not a rose garden, it is demolition. It is the collapse of the old self, and with it, all the structures upon which we built our lives. You can no longer see with the same eyes. You can no longer pretend. You can no longer silence that inner voice that now roars like a river breaking its dam. In this video, we will explore together the uncertain terrain between the end of an identity and the birth of a new consciousness. I invite you to walk with me through the paths of shadow, silence, and finally, the inner flame, the collapse of the old self. Before awakening, the ego reigns. We build an identity based on achievements, possessions, and status. And when you awaken, that sandcastle collapses. What once seemed important now feels superficial. Work, the opinions of others, social trophies, all lose weight. The soul enters a kind of limbo, a land between worlds where you no longer belong. To the old, but do not yet understand the new. This is the process of ego dissolution. It is painful because we were conditioned to identify with what we do, what we own, and what others think of us. When those layers fall away, what remains is the bare self, vulnerable, real. Then comes sadness, not ordinary sadness, but existential, melancholy. A silent mourning for all that once was. And this sadness is not a mistake. It is part of the birth, part of the sacred passage of ceasing to be in order to begin to truly be. Ask yourself now, who are you when you are no longer what you do? Who are you when you are no longer acting to be loved? Who remains when all the masks have fallen? The one who remains is your soul in its purest form. Silence as medicine. After awakening, silence becomes the soul's new language. You no longer seek noise or validation. You seek truth. But this search can be confused with apathy. It is not that you no longer want to live. It is that you no longer want to live in lies. The loss of motivation is a sacred pause, a space to be reborn. Do not rush. Do not force productivity. Listen, the soul speaks in whispers and only in silence. Can you hear it? Spend time alone. Not as punishment, but as medicine. Walk without headphones, observe without expectations, write without censorship. Let the soul, slowly, begin to articulate its real desires, not those born of conditioning. Many sages said this long before me. In silence, you do not lose the world, you recover it. It is there where the soul begins to guide you effortlessly. Because the soul does not shout, it whispers, crossing the spiritual desert. This period is known by many mystics as the dark night of the soul, a time when all external things lose flavor. You feel alone, misunderstood. You wonder if you are going crazy, but you are not. You are simply ceasing to belong to the artificial world. You are crossing a desert. And in that desert, the soul strengthens. You learn to drink from your own well, to walk without a map, to trust, and most importantly, to discover that true motivation does not come from outside, but from within. This is not a passing phase. It is an initiatory journey. During this crossing, your priorities reorder themselves. What was once essential becomes irrelevant, and what you once ignored becomes vital. Connection, compassion, authenticity. The dark night is not an error. It is the purification of the soul. It is the preparation for a new way of living. Do not try to escape. Walk through it with an open heart, because on the other side, your true essence awaits. The new flame, living from the soul. Eventually, something changes. A spark appears. You are no longer moved by fear or duty. You are moved by purpose. You begin to serve, to create, to share, not to be admired, but to be useful, not to fill a void, but to express your being. The new motivation is not fireworks. It is inner ember. It warms, but does not burn. It is quiet, but constant. You no longer need recognition. Your soul recognizes itself. And that is enough. This is the authentic rebirth. Life is no longer about doing to be worthy, but about being. To radiate, you become a beacon, not because you try, but because it is inevitable. The fruits of this new state are peace, clarity, love without attachment, overflowing creativity. But they do not come from effort. They come from alignment. And there, finally, you find a motivation that does not fade, that does not depend on the world, that is yours, eternal, faithful. If today you feel lost after your awakening, I want to tell you this: you are not going backward, you are descending. And in that descent, you are finding treasures that the superficial world could never offer you. Motivation will return, but it will no longer be the whip of the ego. It will be the melody of the soul. Be patient with yourself. Honor your process. You are being born anew. Do not fight the emptiness. Feel it. Listen to it. Because it is the silence that precedes creation. And when you least expect it, you will begin to see signs. Words that resonate. People who arrive. Ideas that flow. That is the new motivation, born of the soul and expanding effortlessly. Share in the comments. What have you felt after your spiritual awakening? Have you felt demotivated? What have you discovered in that silence? Your experience can help others who are also crossing the desert. Subscribe to continue exploring these mysteries of the soul, because together we can illuminate the path for many more. Until the next video, keep walking toward yourself.